everybody. My name is Anna Raju and I'm currently studying BBA at Universal Business School, Mumbai, which is affiliated with Cardiff Metropolitan University in the UK. And this podcast is part of my module Contemporary Business Communication in a Globalized World and is about my views on globalization and the internet, evolution of business communications in a contemporary society with regards to the concept of English as a lingua franca. Our lives have become extremely comfortable with each and every innovations. Much of the internet is used for private, commercial and entertainment businesses, which is only about globalization. Globalization, which is a growing phenomena, can be described as a shift towards a more integrated and independent world economy. The internet, which appeared in 1983, has created a huge and powerful impact on civilization and globalization. It has truly revolutionized how humans work. It has widened the global knowledge base and has also paved a path to bring cultures and people closer. In business, the internet has provided a platform where organizations that are thousands of kilometers away to communicate and share information amongst themselves and to the customers at large. Due to the internet, businesses have improved their global competitiveness and productivity along with efficient electronic transaction processing. In a sense, the market is competitive now more than ever, with consumers having a wider sense of choices and awareness. So what is social media? Social media are websites and applications that are created to share content quickly, efficiently, and in real time. A few popular examples are Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter. Statistics show that the number of internet users worldwide in 2019 was 4.388 billion and the number of social media users worldwide was 3.484 billion, which amounts to 45% of the world's population. This data just proves how widely used yet important social media is. The capability and ability to share photographs, events, videos in real time has truly transformed the way us humans live and also the way we do business. By allowing your business the social media touch, you generate more businesses and connect with your consumers better, which lets you serve them better. It, in turn, makes your digital marketing easy. The popularity of social media not only benefits the companies, but it also benefits its stakeholders and consumers. Social media has helped business communication grow quickly in the way that it helps them connect with their consumers and their target audience. It helps increase brand awareness and furthermore boost leads and sales. Even though social media is relatively new, it has grown faster than imagined and continues to do so. For example, Facebook ads. Started in 2005, it has gathered 9.1 billion in revenue in the first quarter of 2017. This proves that social media advertising is here to stay for a really long time and is quite beneficial for businesses. It also helps businesses to satisfy its consumers. Losing a consumer is tough and gaining one is even tougher. However, retaining a consumer is 10 times easier, which is the reason as to why consumer satisfaction is at a top priority of businesses these days. Using social media helps engaging and connecting with consumers. Businesses also have the opportunity to check what they want, the issues they're facing, and how they could serve them better. To satisfy consumers and make them matter, businesses need to offer them a more personalized and effective customer satisfaction, which is where social media enters for helping them do just that. An example of this could be the IHOP social media campaign in 2018. The International House of Pancakes, IHOP, changed its name to IHOP, B for burgers, which was announced on Twitter through a tweet. Obviously, it wasn't a real thing, but just a marketing campaign to advertise their burgers, and it worked perfectly. Their burger sales quadrupled after the campaign, and the campaign also gathered a lot of engagement. One of which was when it asked its followers to figure out what Burger King stands for, and more than 34,000 followers responded, and the name acknowledging those tweets was retweeted more than 15,000 times. Furthermore, it gathered mentions from other brands too. The campaign was a massive success, and according to YouGov, IHOP's word of mouth grew substantially in the week after when they changed their name, which just goes to show that people were really talking about IHOP. An example of this could be the Cambridge Analytica scam. Now, what is Cambridge Analytica? A UK-based company that provides services to businesses and political parties who like to influence mass behavior. They harvested more than 50 million raw profile data with the help of big data analytics and created a psychographic profiles to eventually target users with customized digital ads and other manipulative data, which is called micro-targeting. They then sold these data to US politicians looking to influence voters without the user's consent. The firm used the raw data to build a powerful software to forecast and influence vote choices at the ballot box during the 2016 US elections. The Trump 2016 digital campaign depended heavily on micro-targeting and used the data provided by Cambridge Analytica to gain an upper hand in the elections. Such misuse of data and information of users online without their consent raises ethical issues and concerns regarding privacy and security of data. This is the perfect example of how influential social media is. It allowed Cambridge Analytica to influence the minds through micro-targeting and change the course of the presidential elections in one of the world's most powerful country. This shows that the power of social media is unparalleled, and this could be harnessed by companies to target and influence people's decision-making skills. Hence, proving that social media plays a vital role in altering our thinking and decision-making. Now that we understand the importance of social media as a channel of business communication, let's move on to the next segment of the podcast, the evolution of business communication in a contemporary society. Communication is one of the most vital parts of human life and is a means of business expansion. Over the years, business communication methods have evolved with the use of the internet and technology. So let's take a look at how business communication has changed. We have come a long way in terms of business communication, which first began with the business phone when telephones were introduced in the 1870s. This changed the game, where there was no more waiting of letters or telegrams, and a simple telephonic conversation was all that was needed to communicate instantly. Technology then boomed in the 20th century, and since then we've not looked back. Companies started having options to choose from. With the invention of VHS and DVDs, executives were now able to circulate information for training and announcement purposes. Then, closed-circuit television conferencing around the globe allowed virtual conferencing, after which there were major breakthroughs with the introduction of webcams, which were operable and gave viewers a realistic approach to communicating with people on video call. The benefits of video calling are that it helps boost productivity, saves our time, our travel expenses, and promotes overall collaboration. It helps teams maintain human connections irrespective of their physical location, which speeds decision making and improves the ability to create global collaborations. One of the biggest leaps in business communication was electronic posting of messages. It allowed users to send emails to anyone, anywhere, and anytime. Next were mobile phones, which became more powerful and more versatile with time. Users were then able to access the internet anywhere and anytime, and there was a huge surge in the number of employees bringing in smartphones and tablets to the workplace. The use of such technology pioneered business communications both internally and externally, where the availability of smartphones, instant messaging allowed the world to communicate effectively in real time. Before the digital age, businesses had to rely heavily on traditional ways to reach out to potential consumers, and even then, the reach was limited. The rise of social media has also proven to be very effective, where it has allowed a continuous two-way communication. What's more is that businesses are now able to gain access to online presentation design services, which helps inculcate creative visual content and hence further improve their communication with the consumers and the target audience. One of the most recent technological innovation, cloud-based computing, which when introduced to business communications a step further. It's a large business to store information on virtual servers and gain access to it from any location around the world and from any device in real time. In addition, employees now have access to business data that require to work efficiently and effectively. To say the very least, business communications have come a long way with the help of technology and innovations, where even the smallest of businesses can grow and be successful. We finally come to the last segment of this podcast, which is English as lingua franca from a globalized business environment. Considering globalization, English is the most common language in international business. Quite a bit of business communication is done by non-native speakers of English. In regard to the cross-cultural exchange of information, sender and receiver are usually of varying backgrounds. Furthermore, organizations and multinational companies have realized the importance of using one common language as an external and internal communication tool. English has become the world's lingua franca. It is the most common worldwide language and has been accepted as the language of primary communication in some countries. Over the past few years, adopting a common language isn't only a good idea, it's a must. The wide expansion of economic globalization has brought a rise in international business cooperation and in the cross-border business partnerships, which has only resulted in a growing number of contacts between professionals from different cultures and linguistic backgrounds and communicate with foreigners in their own communities or even when traveling. According to Ethnologue, the 21st edition of 2019, 1,121 million were speakers of the English language around the globe, where there were 378 million native speakers and 743 million non-native speakers. And as of April 2019, English was the most popular language online, illustrating 25.5% of worldwide internet users. Hence, English in a way has become denationalized since it is no longer country exclusive, which gives its use as a multicultural dimension. In the past few years, the research into business-related communication of non-native speakers of English in the English language has come from the development of the concept of business English as a lingua franca, or BELF. So what kind of language is business English as a lingua franca? If English as a lingua franca is used as a means of communication between speakers of different first languages, then business English as a lingua franca is English used as the language of communication between professionals whose first language is English. Hence, it said that BELF is a collection of English used particularly in the international business for handling businesses between individuals and companies from across the globe. Business English as a lingua franca means that English is used as a neutral and shared communication code. It is neutral in the way that none of the speakers can say that it is his or her mother tongue. It is communicated in the way which is used only for conducting businesses globally whose speakers are BELF users, and the communicators are not non-native speakers or learners. And therefore, business English as a lingua franca is a collection of English that is used by non-native speakers in which the attributes of the speaker's mother tongue communication patterns are present. Additionally, it is thought out to be clear and simple, which consists of neither idiomatic expressions nor complicated phraseology. Nonetheless, the most striking aspect of BELF is that it is business-related vocabulary and technical lingo. To conclude, business English as a lingua franca is a method of communicating information with precision and clarity. And in the business world, This is without a doubt concerned with getting the job done, which is the sole purpose of businesses in its most elemental sense. With this, I come to the end of the podcast. I hope you've liked my video, and please don't forget to share and subscribe, and hopefully